And I'm Gabby Ryle.
Martha Graham, Leadership Pioneering the Future of Performing Arts.
The brisk, cold air of February blew softly into the studio, easily making the newly polished hardwood floors chill to the touch. Martha Graham strides gracefully into her studio to prepare for the mid-morning class that she would soon teach. Citizens of the town had no knowledge to the revolution of modern dance that would soon captivate the performing arts world and change dance forever. I'm sorry I'm late, Graham. It's just
There are no excuses allowed in my studio or in my classroom. Now we shall begin class now that all of our students are here. Places, everyone. And a 5, 6, 7, 8, and go, and go, and go, and go.
At this time, in the 1930s, ballet was the only fully accepted dance style. Martha Graham showed leadership by experimenting with her own style, even though it was looked down upon at first.
Yes, now I am a dancer, owner, and director of my own company. But once before, I could only dream of a dance career. I could only dream that one day I could prove my parents wrong and that I would be able to find a career while doing what I love to do, dance. My passion for dance started later than most young girls, when I saw a dance performance for the first time when I was 16. I was immediately enticed by the way someone was able to manipulate their body to show so many stories and to portray so many emotions. My father repeatedly spoke about the way the body shows emotions through involuntary movements. This really made me want to further explore these emotional movements of the body. As I began to explore, I realized that dance was the best way to explore these movements. Ballet, which was the only accepted style of my time as of dance, didn't show the emotions I wanted to portray, let alone any emotion at all.
Graham had a vision of something more, an art form to show true emotion, to truly show the pain and hardships of life, as well as the joy and happiness. She envisioned a style which wasn't fluid, that wasn't considered normal, and that was meant to portray true-to-life stories, not only the fairy tales we see around us. Graham was motivated to take a step out of the acceptance barrier of the time, yet as she began her new style, she had no idea the impact that her choices, her fierce attitude, and her willingness to take a step out of the boundaries of acceptance would leave on dance as a whole.
Class dismissed.
During the time period, there were many dance studios, all with different artistic visions and styles. The differences between Martha Graham, Doris Humphrey, and Hanya Holm made for a separation of camps. Each pioneer led her own group of followers. The dancers of the 1930s through 1960s held allegiance to their own leader. They never wanted to think that there was a rival studio because they all believed that their vision was best. But Graham truly wasn't concerned about being the best. She just wanted to portray true-to-life stories through art, although at times not the prettiest art. Diversion of Angels is a lyric piece about the loveliness of youth, the pleasure and playfulness, quick joy and quick sadness of being in love for the first time.
The dance itself follows no story. Its action takes place in the imaginary garden love creates for itself, as Graham would say. The ballet was originally called Wilderness Stare. Graham once described Diversion of Angels as 3 different aspects of love. The white costumed couple representing mature love in perfect balance, the red as erotic love, and the yellow as adolescent love.
I admire Graham's new style. The way it portrays emotions is superb.
Are you out of your mind? That new style makes no sense at all. Why would you ever want to highlight the pains of life as well as love? Can't they just pick one or another?
It shows people that the pain is real, that life is more than just fairy tales.
But isn't art supposed to show the fairy tales of life?
I think Graham has taken a step in the direction of the future.
Well, I believe things were just fine the way they were. Why change when things are already good? Graham had many supporters, but there were always the people that were stuck in the past and thought that change wasn't a good idea. But people have to realize that sometimes you have to take a step out of your comfort zone. Graham could help them do that. Her students realized this and wanted to pass this idea down for generations to come.
anyone know who started modern dance? Anyone? Martha Graham had a large influence on modern dancing today. None of you would probably be dancing here right now if it weren't for her. I was a dancer of hers. Yes, dancing was much different back then. Ballet was pretty much the only accepted style.
Why was it the only accepted style?
Everyone was stuck in their ways, and people were short on money at the time too. So even just the thought of trying to revolutionize dance was just completely out of the question. But Graham really did use all the determination that she had inside of her to create this new style. And she made more of an impact that people remember her for. I mean, most people don't even recognize her name when they hear it.
Well, why doesn't everyone know who Martha Graham is then? Didn't she, completely change dance? Shouldn't that be recognized as famous?
Well, she didn't exactly change the world or anything, but she completely revolutionized the world of performing arts. Graham had motivation to show her stories through this new dance art form. She had vision to create a company surrounding her new style. She made effective decisions in the way she went about making things in her dance revolt. She faced tough issues of an acceptance barrier at the time, and she left a legacy on the performing arts world that a lot of people don't even know about. But even if you don't know her for her legacy on the performing arts world, you should also remember her for the determined leader that she was, and how she wasn't just a leader, but she had leadership. And there's a big difference between those who are leaders and those who contribute leadership.
But what's the difference? I don't understand how it's different to be a leader, or to have leadership, or to have both.
Leadership consists of many aspects, including motivation, vision, effective decisions, facing tough issues, and making some impact, no matter how small. Yes, leaders are normally associated with leadership, but you could also be a leader for all the wrong reasons, which some people thought that way about Graham.
Many people say I've influenced their personalities as well as their dancing. For the longest time, I didn't understand how I was a person of influence. But once I took time to look back in my life, I realized that events in my life that have impacted my personality are things that could be an impact on others. For instance, after my father's death when I was only in my early 20s, my good friend's death in the 1960s, soon followed by my dear mother's death, I was distraught. The people I cared about were now gone. I had to learn to be more independent, even though I felt alone. I still had to continue on the path in the dance revolt as I had started. I couldn't leave the company and the people that were counting on me.
Graham influenced many through her life, and even after her passing. The story of despair and discouragement that her passion helped her overcome helped others strive not only to be better performers, but better citizens as well. Graham's fierce sense of leadership drove her to be better, not only for herself, but as well as for those around her. Graham once said,
There is a vitality, a life force, a quickening that is translated through you into action. And because there is only one of you in all time, this expression is unique. And if you block it, it will never exist through any other medium and be lost. The world will not have it. It is not your business to determine how good it is, nor how valuable it is, nor how it compares with other expressions. It is your business to keep it yours clearly and directly, to keep the channel open. You do not even have to believe in yourself or in your work. You must keep open and aware directly to the urges that motivate you. Keep the channel open. Class dismissed.